What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a Week 14 recap of the 2015 NFL season. It's going to be the Thursday night football game. I'm just looking at this right here because the Buffalo Bills and the Philadelphia Eagles, that's going to be a huge game this Sunday, December 13th, because of all the stuff that's going on with Chip Jelly Kelly and LaShawn McCoy and all the hysteria that's going on. Herm Edwards done lost his goddamn mind on the air. All kinds of craziness is going on. So, guys, definitely tune in to the Buffalo Bills at the Philadelphia Eagles. That's going to be it should be a gritty game. I expect the Buffalo Bills to win, but it should be gritty. Chip Jelly Kelly is, you know what I'm saying, bro, allegedly did a lot of crazy activity to this young man, LaShawn McCoy. So we'll see if all the hype that's leading up to it does anything. We're going to go ahead and discuss the game that was played Thursday, December 10th, 2015, Thursday Night Football. Vikings at Cardinals. Vikings 20 to Cardinals 23. This game was pretty exciting, man. As much as the score seems rather low, it was a lot of exciting plays that went on with it. That one questionable fumble, I didn't know if the guy's elbow was down. What was that? Was that which guy was that? John Brown? It was one of those little tiny guys, bro. Can't remember which one of the receivers it was, but looking at it, I see that the ball didn't move, but it just appeared to be a fumble. That was a huge drive for the Cardinals that could have been turned away with a turnover, but either way, it was ruled that the guy was down by contact because of the elbow. Other than that, Adrian Peterson looks really, really good. I don't know, we all know that Teddy Bridgewater fumbled the ball, to lose the game. I can't really be mad at him though, because the rush, you know what it is? I don't even know if they should have just took a field goal. I don't think that Teddy Bridgewater at that point with the guys that are around him was equipped to try to go for like a touchdown. You know what I'm saying, bro? With the time and everything that was going on, I was thinking that maybe they would run the ball once more, use a timeout, and then go into overtime. I didn't think that based on the way his confidence has been after the Seattle Seahawks beat him down last week, that they should have put that in his hands, to go forward and try to win the game like that. I don't know, from the 35 yard line, it didn't seem logical to me. Just to, if you're trying to rebuild his confidence, maybe let him go into overtime. Let him go into overtime, see what he can do in overtime. Regardless of what happens, you got a new clock, you got a new, everything is challengeable upstairs, you got a new 2 timeouts, stuff like that. I would go for the overtime. It just didn't seem like that was cool for them to let him try to, air it out in that situation. Should he have fumbled? Absolutely not, but it is what it is. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna tell you this about this rookie Johnson from the Cardinals, man. He's the real deal. He's the real deal, guys. Like he's a guy that if you picked him up late in the season in fantasy, once Chris Johnson got hurt, you're pretty good right now. He does everything that's needed out the backfield with his hands, running, whatever. Carson Palmer played pretty well too, moving up in the pocket. I've never been a real big fan of Carson Palmer, even when he was with the Bengals, and he has TJ Who's Your Mama and Ocho Cinco, who has now been ruined and whatever because he wanted to date reality TV women. Now the dude is a woman abuser, a man whore, all kinds of stuff, bro. But let's not even go into that. He could have had a much different career if he just played his cards a little bit differently, but it happens. People make mistakes, and sometimes these things are very, very hard to come back from. In his case, I do think if he would continue to play, even for the Patriots, he had a chance to continue his career and do some good things, but it didn't work out that way. And we'll that's just something to go. Like things happen, you know what I'm saying? But Carson Palmer, he never, I just don't know. I don't know. He reminds me of like a better Matty Dry Ice. You know what I'm saying? Like I never really was sold on him, but the guy seems to be playing well, man. And I can't argue with results. When you're out there winning, it's not much you can say. When you're out there winning on a regular basis, like the way they've been doing, and you look at the stats and it shows that when he plays, there's such a higher chance of them winning a game. I can't say anything bad about him. But what can I do? I can't knock him. I love what Bruce Arians does. I love Bruce Arians as a head coach. I don't know what else to really say about what happened with the Cardinals. Larry Fitzgerald, he's playing so well compared to all the other past years where he was on fantasy teams and people wanted to find him and strangle him. Did he have a big day? No, but his blocking, the catches when needed, his support of his teammates, I wish the best for this team, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm starting to like the Cardinals. I'm starting to like what the Cardinals has to offer. I'm starting to believe that they can make some noise. And if for nothing else, I think it would be a great thing for Bruce Arians to go on and do something. But with the way the Seahawks are playing, they're still the bad boy of the NFC West. You know what I'm saying? So they would have to beat somehow or another, the Cardinals gonna have to end up playing the Seahawks and probably, whatever. And we'll see what happens with that. But I like what the Cardinals are doing. The Vikings, on the other hand, the run game is solid. They have a lot of tools there. They got Kyle Rudolph. They got some weapons that can be utilized. But Teddy Bridgewater is still a young QB, and you got to give him some time. And like I said, I just don't think coaching wise, it was the right move to put him in that situation with the ball in his hands when you could have just ran the ball with AP, gave him a little bit more yardage to kick the field goal off and go to overtime. That's my opinion. Listen, man, I'm not paid in the NFL to make decisions like that, but that's something that I would have done to help, bolster his confidence going later on into the season where it's starting to get a little bit tight, and hopefully they would have pulled it out. But the way that this game ended with the fumble, I wasn't even really, like I said, I wasn't even mad at Teddy Bridgewater. I didn't call him a bum. I didn't call him anything because I know that he's a young QB, and I know that the pressure was on, and these things happen. It's gonna help. It's gonna help his growth because overall he didn't have a bad game. He wasn't playing like Matt Castle, you know what I'm saying, bro, or even Matty Dry Ice for that matter. He was making plays and throws when needed. A lot of play action, a lot of rollouts, easy things for him because he's mobile, and he was doing suitable things to manage the game properly. But at the end of the day, the way the Cardinals played to pull it out, it was a gritty game, and the Cardinals won the game. But I can't knock the Vikings overall as a team. They went out there and fought, depleted with injuries, no Barr, no Harrison Smith. The list goes on, and they're not deep in depth. So it would be unfair to anybody to say that, oh yeah, the Vikings suck, whatever like that. Listen, guys, I'm going to tell you honestly what I feel. When teams suck like the Jets, I'm going to let you know the Jets suck. I'm going to let you know the Rams suck. Well, not the Rams, just the coach, Jeff Fisher. The Lions suck. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But the Vikings, if they had all their personnel, and also the Cardinals had guys hurt too. It's the NFL. People are going to be hurt. But I didn't get that feeling as if the Vikings were a bad team. I don't know if you guys relate to what I'm saying. Like when you watch a game and it's like one of these teams really, really suck. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like this team is garbage. Like you could watch some of the Lions earlier games and just be like, yo, this team is garbage. And their coach looks like a goddamn soccer dad in Jim Caldwell. I didn't get that from the Vikings at all. So I can't really knock the way that the game ended overall, and I'm not mad at Teddy Bridgewater. He's going to grow. He's a young QB. I think that he has a lot of potential in this league, and I think he'll be fine. Overall, this was a competitive game. Neither one of these teams are bummed, so it was exciting for me to watch it and see how it was going on, and it's starting to lead up into that playoff football that everybody's been yearning for, and it was a good game. As opposed to a lot of the other garbage Thursday night football games that have transpired before our eyes, this was a really, really good game. But at the end of the day, for the Vikings fans, it's a lot of upside to your team, man. Like, listen, you just got to imagine you did this without so many people that you desperately need. Same thing with the Cardinals. Chris Johnson is not a slouch. You know what I'm saying? A fractured tibia, him not being there, but the Johnson, the rookie, is also, that's a good replacement. To be fair to both sides, that's a very, very good replacement. He's a rookie, but he's a very, very good replacement for Chris Johnson. So, overall, the game was very good. I can't really complain about it. I'm really starting to like the Cardinals, but again, they got to beat the Seattle Seahawks for me to really see. They got to beat those bad boys, bro. And they're still the bad boys. The way they beat on the Vikings last week, we have to see what happens with it. But if you guys didn't get my picks for this week, I'm not going to recite them again. You're going to want to check out the previous podcast from the Monday night game for the week ending 13. But this was the week 14 start off with Thursday Night Football. I hope you guys enjoyed the game. Hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. I can't wait for Sunday. Can't wait for Sunday to go over all these games and for you guys to share it with me. And then we're going to end Monday with the bummy-ass Giants and see what happens with them. But all in all, great game. Kudos to both teams. They fought hard, man. And, Teddy Bridgewater, keep your head up, man. Until next time, one love.